Hmm. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you happen to be in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene set in Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. Tonight, the scene is set upon two members of the Lancair et Sanctum, God's holy order of kindred. The damned shepherds who guide mortals to their destined place. Such an action can often tell many things outside of what would normally be considered overtly religious. Tonight, such guidance comes in the form of breaking into a laboratory and implanting some rather malicious software into the company's computers. Modern supplicants from modern age.
Joshua pulls on one of his gloves with when you do it with your teeth. He kind of then flexes the gloved hand, wearing black leather gloves before he turns to Farthingdale. He's seated in the back of in the back of just an ordinary white van, more than likely with the various different pieces of equipment they might need for this evening, stowed safely. Before he'll say, "Well, I've got a question for you. When we're under your," and he just does his he does the wizard spirit fingers. We are able to talk, aren't we?
Yes.
Will they hear us with our voices, or will they hear different voices?
They'll hear the voices they would expect to hear. As they don't know us, they won't expect our voices.
Fascinating. All right. Well, I'm pretty much only here in case we need to talk our way out of the situation. So, I'll let you take the lead, old man.
Right, yeah.
Joshua and Farthingale, a quick note before you continue. Joshua managed to secure permission to enter the City of London. A fairly simple process for him, but both of you are quite surprised the restrictions placed upon you. You've had to at least define to one of the officials, such as the sheriff, where you're actually going, and what your business is in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And you are considered either to be if you stray from that path, some warnings have been given. You are expected only to go to the location you have said you will go to and conduct the business you said you will conduct. You haven't had to enlighten anybody as to why you're going to this particular place, just that you are going to this particular place, and that is why you need to be here. It appears the Princeton is really not keen on anybody moving freely within the city. So, just a fair warning to you before you continue that such restrictions are not restrictions, but warnings. Such edicts have been given. Guidelines, perhaps the most accurate term.
I trust that all of the software and hardware is set up for what it is we need to do this evening.
Yes. I do have a couple of important questions, though, Joshua.
Shoot.
This building has lifts, I assume.
I would assume so. I haven't been here.
Bad idea. Should have been here. And
Oh,
Bishop.
you saw the problem. Saw the problem. It is just going in here for the evening. I wouldn't have wanted to have tried to do it twice in as many weeks.
Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of quick questions here. Firstly, like telephone exchange boxes they tend to be metal green things outside, or power exchange boxes.
Oh, power boxes?
Yeah, things like that. The ones that in industrial estates or areas where there's a lot of buildings, they tend to be on street corners for ease of access. Yeah. Is there one of those nearby?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Is there a company logo on it, or is it like BT?
Seems to be a public power box. As in, it's not really protected. It's just a green box that exists along the path, as it were, as opposed to being fenced off.
Okay. Can we see anyone who because we've been sat in the van, presumably watching the building, even just via a dash cam.
Mm-hmm.
Have we been able to discern anyone like patrolling?
The area, the building is fenced off. It's a few floors in height, like about 4 or 5 floors. You don't see anyone patrolling, but by the entrances, you do see security.
Okay. If we zoom in on like a dash cam, can we see the logos on their security gear?
Yeah, they appear to be employed by the firm directly.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, in that case, go online, get the contact numbers for the company itself.
Okay.
And then, because you can, takes a bit of fiddle in this, but you can often get a reception. Basically, get a reception extension number to get through to reception.
Yep. Yeah, it's simple enough getting contact information for business and the reception number.
Yep. Once we have that, ring it up. Bring.
Hello, this is Goodman Limited. How may I help you?
Hello, yeah. This is Samson on floor 3. I'm trying to get through to the lift control box. Is there an issue in the system? I've been trying to call you on the lift systems where it's not getting through.
No, there shouldn't be a problem.
Are you absolutely certain? Because I'm pressing the alarm button on this lift and it's not registering. I came in a few hours ago to do lift tests and it's not registering. I don't think the camera's working either.
Cool.
All right, well, I've called in a couple of guys anyway, just to make sure it's all done. Security people. Just buzz them straight through, and I'll see if I can get anyone sorted. If this doesn't work, we may have to be here over the next few days. By the way, what's your name, by the way? Just for the record,
Lena?
Okay, Lena, how do I spell that, Lena? Can you just tell me through?
There you go. She gives you the spelling. Oleana.
Okay, notes that down. Thanks for that, Lena. If any other issues come forward, I'll ring down again. And as I say, if my guys come through, just buzz them through. They won't know the building very well. Do you have? Actually, yeah. On the way in, would you mind giving them a map of the building or anything like that? Because I don't want to be spending any more time here than I strictly need to. Like I have other jobs tonight, and I think we'd both like to get home on time.
We have a map of the building in the main foyer.
Okay, thanks for that. Have a nice night. Click.
He was just so painfully reasonable. That was the most British thing I've seen in so long. Good God.
That, my friends, is social engineering. It works.
Do you want to make me a manipulation plus subterfuge to see if you pulled off your trick?
I'm probably going to fail this one, but there we go.
Oh no!
I don't have any subterfuge.
I will give you +2. Well, I'll give you plus. I was going to say give you +2 dice. You don't have any subterfuge. That's only going to be +1 dice because of because my God.
Yeah, you might think Anthony is better informed at this shit than his character is.
Particularly since you are your obfuscated forms will actually be showing up.
Exactly.
Which will
no
make
successes.
It appear genuine. Oh no.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. To be fair, like when we arrive, I can allow Joshua to do the bullshitting.
This is true.
And he has heard me on the phone, so he knows what bullshit to go with.
Yeah. So, made the call. They're now expecting people.
Yep. After about wait 3 to 5 minutes, then get out the van and walk up, carrying equipment.
Bishop, is Majesty always on, or do I have to turn it on?
You can turn it on or off. At least the level 1 variant. Level 2 and level.
He's going to turn on Majesty as he approaches the building.
Okay.
Hey, he walks towards one of the guards at the door. Hey, I'm led to understand that you were told to buzz us in. Hi, my name's Terrence. We're here to inspect the lifts.
Yeah. We just received a message about that a few minutes ago. Elena's just checking with her manager about it. Do you mind just waiting here for a minute?
Oh man, look, I've got to get home. This is my last stop of the night. Can you be a pal? It would really help me out.
Roll me that manipulation plus persuasion. And you add your Majesty dots to the check.
I succeed.
Oh yeah, no, they let you through without a fuss. Your Majesty makes it even simpler. They don't really follow.
Look, thanks. Look, thanks. You have no idea what kind of dragon my wife is, and frankly, I don't want to poke the beast. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah, too true, man, too true.
But yeah, he just kind of, all right, come on, Arthur, we're going on in. He says as he denotes Farthingdale and kind of just does the jerk of his head.
Yeah, Farthingdale will just nod to the men, like giving the impression of being a silent professional. And I assume we go, and then go right up to the door, and like push if there's a buzzer or something, just push it right away.
Yep. It's security actually buzzes you in.
Okay, yeah.
They don't stay. They stay out of your hair once they buzz you in. They go back to the entrance. But it's sort of just lackadaisically hanging around. It doesn't seem like they get a lot of break-ins or anything.
Yeah. Go over and quickly once we go in, like nod to Lena at reception go over and quickly check the map in the foyer.
Joshua's going to do a little. He's just going to give Lena a winning smile, or what she would perceive as a winning smile, because he's wearing a full face mask, but she perceives a winning smile.
You can use Majesty to automatically charm her.
I can. No, actually can't.
Well, you if you have if you have Majesty roll. She looks up at you, smiles affectionately, says, "Oh hi, I see security buzzed you, and I was just trying to get through to my manager. I just started my shift an hour ago, so I'm not sure if I don't know about
Oh yeah, no,
colleagues who
look,
came in earlier."
I entirely understand. He kind of leaves Farthingdale to go, and he leans over next to the. He leans on the couch. He smiles. Look, I'm actually curious. So, tit for tat a little bit with me. Goodman, is that the same Goodman that's been in the news?
Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah, it was yeah, it's really tragic what happened.
Yeah. I mean, did you know the dude?
Oh, we never really spoke. I mean, I'm kind of glad, obviously.
Yeah, no, totally
Yeah,
get it.
to be honest, I'm more worried for Miss Goodman. You know,
Oh yeah,
after everything that happened, and you know, so why we have security outside now because of that sort of thing. I mean, I'm amazed that this still happens. It's really horrible. It's
in this day and age, you know, you can't walk around London anymore. Like you don't feel safe, you know.
Yeah, like I mean, a stray bullet, and you know, I could have been sent to the hospital as well. You know, if I was there, if I was, you know, I mean, you know, I know the person who was actually in on that night, and you know, he was extremely lucky.
So Bishop, I'd like to roll. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'd like to roll charisma socialize on this person because it's a skill that's not used as much as it probably should be. Basically, as I talk.
I shouldn't really have made you roll for the initial check because all just allows you to talk out of minor criminal offences and faux pas. So on a dime, but
yeah.
But
Evan, one quick bit of advice. Since she has given us that tidbit that this is her, like she's only been on shift for an hour. Like this might be a good time for you to like make it seem that the reason she wasn't told about what's going on in the lift is because obviously the guy before her didn't bother to tell her on the way out.
No, it's sorry about. Look, there's no need to bother your manager. You've only been in for an hour. I believe that my colleague was talking to your counterpart. You know, with everyone being so on edge, simple lift maintenance. You know, it's not really something that you don't want to rock the boat when everyone's so prickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I guess considering everything that happened, it just kind of fell off all our radars. I mean, I'm still glad you showed. You know, I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't have blamed you guys if you decided not to come in, given what happened. I mean, you know, I kind of considered almost, you know, almost just, you know, called in sick just because, yes.
I mean, we're on a contract. We're regularly rotated, but no, it's funny to think. Like I said, the city, Arthur. I was just saying to you, city's going to the dogs.
You're damn right it is.
It really is. I mean, you know, you got drug epidemics, like it's all of like murder rates through the roof.
Anyway, we think it's.
The
We think it's a system security error. We think that we think that we think it's a system security error. So we're going to go check the security feed that's running from the camera in the lift because that's one of the main problems that we've been dealing with. I believe my colleague already mentioned this to you. So we'll just head up to the security office. It's been lovely meeting you.
Oh, thank you. It was nice to meet you too. She looks for your name tag. Like she literally looks at your chest. looks at Farmingdale, says Arthur, and sorry, I didn't give a name tag.
Yeah, Evan, you did come up with a name.
I beg your pardon?
Terrence, I think your name was.
Yeah, my name was Terrence. Yes, Terrence and Arthur.
Oh, did you call? Do you say Terrence or just?
Yes. Terrence. Sorry about that. At that moment, she'll see the name tag, I assume.
You just like brush your jacket, and it's like.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it kind of, you don't have it like pinned to you. It appears to her as if you just it's just sort of like half in, half out of your
It's on a lanyard,
pocket.
like tucked into a shirt pocket.
Yeah, it's on his lanyard. Ugh. Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, Terrence.
All right, we'll get on this. Hopefully, with any luck, we shouldn't be. What do you say, Arthur? We shouldn't be more than a few hours. Hopefully, if we can isolate the issue in the system.
If we're not done by dawn, my wife's going to kill me.
It's fine. Anyway, you have a good night.
Oh, you too.
Do we know where we're going, Arthur?
Yeah,
I can escort you through if you like.
No.
Oh, that'd be lovely. That'd be he kind of like, just in case there's more security on the way, having a face there would make it so much easier to just walk past. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
That's not what I'd have done, but go ahead.
Because
Because my advice would have been, let her know, have her let security know that we're in the building.
That makes more sense. No, you stay there. Just if you wouldn't mind telling the security service along the way that we're coming. We don't want to waste more time with having to be checked. Not actually. No, he won't do that. We don't want to waste any more time. As I said, we have other appointments tonight. You understand?
Oh, yeah, sure thing. I'll just let everybody know that you're going to be moving through, so there's no confusion.
Wonderful. Look, you have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
He just kind of turns and he jerks his head. Come on, Arthur.
Arthur nods at Elena as we walk past and continues on up. As soon as we get in the lift, presses the third floor button right away. Make sure. Is there a lift in the reception, Bishop?
Yes, there is.
Yep, go straight for that one. Press third floor. That way, when she looks at the lift, it will read that we've gone straight to the third floor, where she believes our quote-unquote colleague is. Then we can get out and go to whatever other floor we need to.
What floor is the security office on that we're going to?
Offices, probably gonna be it's about 4. Yeah, so it'll be the second floor.
So lift up, get out, take the stairs down the floor.
Mm-hmm.
If it helps, he says, looking at Farthingale, you strike me as an Arthur.
I've tried to avoid having normal names. It helps.
We begin walking down the stairs. When you walk on down, a member of security does actually see you. Walks up to you. Doesn't appear particularly hostile.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Hey, got buzzed that you're coming through. How do you be going to be on the third floor there?
No. We had to go up and check with, what was the first name you used, Anthony?
Samson.
We had to go up and check with Samson on the third floor, make sure he hadn't, I don't know, thrown himself down the elevator shaft. No, we're going down to the security offices down here in order to make sure that the link-up's working, you understand?
Okay.
And besides, well, have you ever looked inside a lift shaft when there's no car there?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
depressing.
I've seen some of your colleagues around before. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. I don't remember a Samson guy coming in though. I know.
He's
happens every single time. Like he looks angrily through his paperwork he's carrying. Like, when we get back to the office, I'm having a word with him.
It's all right. Look, we understand, mate. We're just here to check the security systems to make sure that there's no electrical faults in your lifts. So, we all good?
You still have Majesty on, right?
Yep. You never turned it off.
It lasts for the entire scene.
Oh yeah, it lasts for as long as you really want it to. It's free, so you could just keep reactivating it for nothing. Yeah, that's not a problem. Kind of surprised I was on the third floor, didn't report any lift works being done, but
I mean, look, mate, considering all the shit that your lovely girl Lena, was that your receptionist? Like, all the stuff that's gone on, mate. People are probably so frazzled they don't know which way is up. You know what I mean?
And you say I shouldn't do accents. How dare you?
No, there's only one accent you may do, and it's Omar Shadid.
Hello. Imagine if a security guard just walked up to you and was like, "Hello, you're not supposed to be here. Celebration."
Celebration exists in Requiem.
It does.
No.
Well, it exists as the bloodline gift of a certain bloodline. So,
is it a Maquette bloodline?
Yes.
I hate you so much. Of course it is. All right, continuing on. But yeah, he'll just say, yeah, they head down to the security room.
Yeah. So, Bishop, what do we see? What's the door look like? Because I assume we're going to have to break in. Actually,
yeah.
Hold up.
No, you know what? We can ask the security.
Just ask that guy to escort us and let us in.
I'll tell you what, mate. Look, do you mind bringing us down to security, Gil? I'm not sure if they've keyed it open for us. To be honest with you, as I said, everyone's so frazzled. I'm not sure if they know their arse from their elbow at this moment in time. But would you mind terribly? I can roll for that if you'd like.
Yeah, roll for that. Because that's trying to convince them to do something as opposed to overlook something.
If it doesn't work, we can always clobber him off at the end.
Not wrong.
Oh yeah.
Two successes.
No, I can do that for you. It's no problem. Yeah, no, he'll guide you down to the security room. It's a fairly plain looking door. Doesn't actually have any windows on it. Has one of those mechanical key locks. You have to punch in a specific code, but it's not digital. It's all mechanical. Goes from 1 to 9 and XYZ.
Yeah, that's both relatively clever and really, really stupid. Incidentally, Bishop, I think myself and Evan should both make perception or some such roll to memorize the code as he enters it.
Absolutely. You when he enters the code, make me a wits plus composure check to memorize the code.
Right, yeah.
Is there a minus to this or just as is?
Nope. You're not exactly looking to. It's not exactly going to be a long-term memory thing. Like you're really looking to remember it for this night.
So Farthingale has remembered.
Farthingale is better at this than Joshua, but then again, Joshua is the pretty one.
Dale is the creepy, sneaky, thievy one. I do actually have one in larceny, which is funny.
So do I, oddly. Yeah.
So you memorize the key lock. It's 1237X.
1237X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look, cheers. Thanks so much. Hope you have a good and very, let's phrase it like this, in this building, as it's had all the luck recently. I hope you have a very uneventful night, buddy.
Yeah, it's been really quiet since then, so hopefully it was just a one-off. I mean, I feel like there'd be quite a lot of police here if it wasn't, if they expected it to be anything different. So yeah, we have a good one.
But yeah, Joshua will stride into the computer room.
As soon as we're in there, close the door. Take you know how a lot in a lot of offices they have little wooden or plastic wedges to hold the doors open.
Yeah.
Is there one of them in this room, Bishop?
Yeah, there definitely is.
Right. Take it and push it under the door from the inside, so that if anyone tries to come in, the door won't immediately open. That way, we can always claim it was an accident, without having to actually lock the door, which would look suspicious if someone tries to get in. At that point, start connecting up wires and such like.
So we want to, and it's likely that Goodman more than likely has some kind of independent server, but I have no doubt that it in some way routes to the main server.
Even if it doesn't, I have backup plans, and
Wonderful.
He'll pull from one of his pockets 2 blank RFID cards of the type you can get on Amazon for really, really cheap.
In that case, I'll just let you work, shall I?
Nice, yeah. So yeah, Bishop, what are my bonuses to my hacky roll?
Okay, so you want to crack into the system, right?
Yep.
Okay, then cracking software gives you +2 dice to your check.
Okay, so that's 8 dice in total.
Mm-hmm.
Or does my specialty give me any bonuses or no?
Yeah, a specialty, or if a specialty applies, it gives you an additional +1 dice.
It's a specialty in hacking.
Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely applies here. So it's 9 dice.
Yep. And I'm going to spend one of my 2 points of willpower to give myself 12 dice on this roll.
Ooh, okay.
I don't want to fail this. 2 successes. This dice roller hates me. Yeah. They were both 10s, fortunately, but they didn't explode to anything.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, you got very unlucky with that roll, but you still succeed. So, I should have also provided a penalty equal to the security of the system, which would have been quite high. But you rolled a 10 on.
I mean, if you want, we could just do a straight reroll.
Actually, yeah, roll me 9 dice. Roll me 9 dice. So basically -3 dice from that check, because security of this place is or security of the system is actually pretty solid.
Okay. 3 successes on that.
3 successes. You actually did better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, you break in with a fair degree of ease. How do you go about breaking in? Is important.
Well, it depends what system is in front of me. I think the first thing to do would be laptop out, connect it into the network, go into their computers to find out. Because in a lot of these places, the security things aren't actually locked. There's a fair amount of gadgets you can just get on the internet nowadays that will just randomly try passwords until it gets it, and can open most of these conventional systems in about 30 seconds. Also, look around the room for if they have anything written like set password or basic password or username and password, because it happens in offices. Once you've done that, figure out what ports they're using for all the important stuff, using console commands. Use the laptop to get into those ports so we can see what's going back and forth. I don't want to go overly technical, because then that's me using my out of character knowledge.
That's fine. Clearly, Farthingdale has a game plan.
Yep.
So
well, the big ones being bring up the security credentials on the system, find like the 2 highest areas of security credential out, like that aren't the Mr. Goodman, like the highest security levels, and then create clones, or like basically look on the system for who has the highest levels of credentials and who's off sick at the moment, or who's called in sick in the last couple of days.
I mean, we could just in theory use his sister because she's in the hospital and will more than likely not be checking the system for a very long time.
Oh yeah, but we don't want someone who's going to be noticed. We want someone who's going to not be like, because if Miss Goodman's name pops up on their security system, they're going to go, oh shit, she's in hospital. So we're going to go with like Jean the janitor, or someone else who has like high level credentials, and clone their security cards. So if there's any RFID card systems or anything like that in the building, we can tap our way through without being noticed.
Can I point out for Bishops, like Anthony knows a sickening amount about this, and it's slightly worrying.
I have been studying what they call penetration testing because I'm considering it for a job. So nice. this stuff is like all relevant information.
Yeah, you find some. There's Janitor has a surprising amount of access, not to every part of the building, but to most parts of the building. All of the main offices, most of the laboratories, apart from a couple of restricted areas.
If needs be, we can be like 2 or 3 different identities.
You can cobble together. Yeah, you can cobble together enough RFID clones that you can access any part of the building.
Yeah.
Have you been able to identify the files that I'm looking for?
More than that, I can get us into any part of the building. Also, like at that point, Bishop download, for example, actual detailed maps of what's in where, and like see if there's any other servers on the network that can't be accessed from here. Like quite often, like if there's a delivery of any high level equipment, like where did it go? Because that should be in the system somewhere. Or who had to clear what from security lately?
Yeah. You see from some fairly generic information about because there's quite a lot of sensitive equipment gets delivered here due to its nature as a laboratory. So there is actually quite a lot of potentially dangerous chemicals, different pieces of expensive equipment. Some of them get shifted to the more generalized laboratories, some to the more sensitive areas that, for example, the janitor can't access. It's not allowed to. In part for his safety, in part for security purposes.
Yep.
You dig up some files. Surprisingly little on Mr. Goodman's activities. He was checking in fairly recently, a couple of months ago, and checked in less frequently a month ago. You find on the system some sort of new medical drug that he was working on.
Get me that file.
You see very little on the drug Violet.
Which rooms was he visiting most frequently, Bishop?
One of the restricted areas is a laboratory that only he and a select few members of staff have access to.
Have I been able to get credentials for that room?
You have. You would probably be able to clone that from here, yeah.
Right.
He's not the only person with access, but he is. There aren't many people. It's like him and half a dozen people max. Not even that.
Does that room, Anthony, have its own private server?
It may well do. That's why I want us to go there. The other big thing is going to get out an external hard drive and basically, I assume they store their security footage digitally because no one uses tapes anymore.
Oh god, no. Yeah. It's super digital.
I'm going to back it all up onto this hard drive, or more accurately, because we're going to come back this way. I'm going to plug it in, start the backup running, have the hard drive hidden around the back with the wire going through so no one will immediately see it, and then turn off the monitor.
Okay.
So it will continue running that way while we're doing everything else. It can back up the security system or back up the security footage, because then we can take the backup and I can do because believe it or not, the delete everything on this system, I'm absolutely certain command for MS-DOS is really short. So I can tell it to just delete all the security footage on the system.
Okay.
And on the way out, we can trigger a power break. We can intentionally short a mains power system to get everything to shut down and then leave quietly, presumably even invisibly.
Also, while we're here, do make sure to get me my back door in so we can sell it. I want to ruin Goodman Pharmaceuticals. I want it gone. I want it blotted out.
We can do that in the main lab, I think.
Well, why don't we do it while we're here?
We're in the security booth.
Yes, but I'm pointing out that from here we can alter the security so that other people can access the system.
To a certain extent. We can certainly market higher level credential systems.
Good.
So Bishop, is this security room accessible via, for example, the internet?
This place is not accessible via the internet. No.
Okay. Is there a Wi-Fi system in the building?
There is a Wi-Fi system in the building.
Okay. Is it? I assume that somewhere in here there will be a little sticker. Again, happens a lot in offices that says Wi-Fi name and password.
Oh yeah. There are multiple stickers that say that. One in this room and several in other rooms.
Go quickly take out a Wi-Fi USB stick, USB dongle, plug that into the back of the security machine, and just link this machine to the Wi-Fi system, because now it's internet accessible. And then install the necessary backdoor worm software to have it accessible elsewhere.
Okay, we can treat that as key logging software as far as the bonuses, as far as bonus applies. So do we just another intelligence plus computers roll for that bonus?
Same security modifier.
Yeah, the security modifier is still -3.
Okay, so I'm not going to spend a willpower on this one because it's less important, and I only have 2. So let's see what happens. So rolling 6 dice. Yeah, 6 dice. 1 success.
You succeed. So yeah, you managed to log the malware onto the system. Again, a fair degree of ease. Now that you're in, and you've more or less bypassed whatever security the system now has.
Yep. On the way out, as I said, we'll take the security footage back up, because we can also present that to the Invictus as a way to be like, look what he's been doing. The Invictus and the Bishops.
You don't see anything incriminating on here regarding Julian. It looks like he was actually just doing what his job description entailed.
But if we then find evidence about Violet in the lab he's been going to repeatedly, we can prove he was going there repeatedly, and the Violet stuff was there. We can make a stronger connection.
So, Anthony, at this point in time, are we going to go invisibly?
No, we will, because the thing makes us look like people think we'll look. I will spend more blood if necessary, Bishop, to make us look like generic scientists.
We're generic.
So people will see the science people they would expect to see. So we can go into the lab.
If you want to look like a... You can look as generic scientists, but...
I mean, hang on. Can I look like someone... I can look like someone specific, can't I?
You can look like... Yeah, if you wanted to look like something specific, you'd...
Because presumably, I know the faces... Because I've seen them on the security credentials. The faces of people who are allowed in that room.
Yeah, you can look like... Yeah, because you wouldn't, for example... It defines that you can't, for example...
I can't be like someone X will fall in love with.
Yeah, like finds trustworthy, but you need a bit more of a specific modifier than that, or identifier, which you do have. Again, you have access to the some photos here that you can use.
Yep, name, face, and telephone number.
So yeah, you can just steal their face.
All right. Do I need to spend 4 more blood?
Yeah, you'll need to change your appearance, which would be a reactivation of the power.
Okay. So yep, 4 more blood spent.
That would make you very hungry.
Technically, yes. Like my emergency get out of this free card will be short the power, set off a fire alarm because those are usually on a separate power circuit from everything else, and then use cloak the not cloak the gathering. What the fuck's it called? Cloak of night, because I can at least make myself invisible so I can get out and feed if need be, and allow Joshua to make his own way out because he'll have something of a cover. Or theory, I could actually spend the blood to make him invisible as well. That we could just run like Billio.
Or you could just take 5 of my blood points.
I'm not getting fucking blood bonded to you.
It'd be 1 step. It's not actually that huge a deal.
To be fair, he also risks vitae addiction. Which, well, we all know from Izzy how traumatizing that can be.
Yeah, that actually, Bishop.
When
we're in the security room, is there by any chance a member of security, like a member of?
Anthony, we're in a fucking laboratory. They have they've probably got blood samples. Like they probably got like backup blood. Like this would make entire amounts of sense for it to have.
Since it's the pharmaceuticals lab, Bishop, I assume they have a fairly extensive medical facility.
Oh yeah.
In that case, they should have blood on tap, like blood bags, for emergency medical procedures,
or for testing.
No, for testing as opposed to medical procedures. Like they're not.
Yeah. So basically, all we have to do is go down, access one of the blood bags, or access, because if we look like scientists now, go down to where the blood is, access the blood. You can drink a point or 2, so you're not like famished, and then we continue on.
Yeah, because I'm down. I'm now down to 3 blood. So if I take 2 more, I'll be up to 5. So do that, and then off to the laboratory.
Well, the issue, this is actually something that both your characters would, you're educated neonates, you'd notice. You know that cold blood, while it can sustain a kindred, requires much more to sustain a kindred than regular blood. I'm actually just going to look at the stats for you now.
I mean, to be fair, I'll be down to 3 blood. So I won't be ravenously hungry.
Wouldn't you be down to 2? Because you spent 4 blood for.
Yeah, but remember, the way we were working it out was because I'd fed I'd gotten 6 blood before, and I've been affecting it that way.
Okay.
Right, so it works out. And currently it's 7. This will take me down to 3. So, I mean, in theory, I can go without feeding and spend. I mean, I'll end up ultimately down to 1 point of blood, so I will need to go out and feed. But it is doable.
I'm just looking up the thing for feeding. I'm just having to. Here it is.
Also, this is proof in future that I need to get that Theban sorcerer ritual that lets me create blood reliquaries.
Yeah, to gain even a single point of vitae from cold blood, you must consume as many pints of this blood as your blood potency times 2. So you'd need to drink 2 pints of bagged blood in order to gain a single blood point.
Which is about 2 bags of blood.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot.
Do they have that on store?
They do have that on store, yeah.
Okay, I will drink enough to give me 1 blood point.
Basically, we'll do this right. What we'll do is we will go down to that lab, we will claim the blood points, at which point you will go to the bathroom, drink them, fold the blood bags, and keep them on your person.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to leave them there drank.
Oh yeah, but you're also not going to drink them in front of a CCTV camera.
Yeah, that's also the plan.
Yeah, they're also kept in storage units, like secure storage, like those there are specialized refrigerators for
for stuff
blood
like
bags,
this, yeah.
because otherwise it literally needs to be the blood literally needs to be fooled into believing it's circulating.
It has to be at like something like not quite 0 to preserve the cells, but
there are a whole bunch of very specific requirements, and they are secure. They have their own. You have to type in, it has a little keypad.
Although with fridges like that, the keypad won't be generally mechanical.
No, it's digital.
A digital keypad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means because we have access to their security system now, and we have remote access because we put it onto a server, we can just get the password.
Not just that, with these sorts of things, there will be an internal storage chip telling it like what were the most recent entered codes. So I can just there's usually 1 small screw holding them in place. Take it off, install the sniffer, have it ping the thing for what the most recent entered numbers were, and we should get the accurate code.
Anyway, I was gonna say, because my time has now grown short, so shall we? Bishop, do you mind if we Batman to the lab we need to go to?
You can Batman to the lab with obfuscate and majesty, and Farthingdale having recruit himself. How much blood are you on? You may still be at risk of frenzy, depending on how much blood.
I'll take the 1 blood point so that there's not a huge amount missing, which will take me to 4 vitae.
You are still hungry. You will still suffer a penalty when coming to resist frenzy. You may need to make the check when you next feed, but it is less bad than being starving.
Yeah.
Where it becomes almost impossible.
Yeah. I'm going to need to find someone who's easy to munch.
Well, there's no shortage of people in this building.
True,
you'll run into another security guard in this building, so I will actually, before you Batman, I will just need you to make a brief resolve plus composure check with -2 dice as a penalty.
Oh, bugger.
Fortunately, there is someone with a lot of vigor here.
Yeah. 3. So I have a minus what penalty?
-2.
Right.
You run into the same guy that escorted you to the security room in the first place.
However, we now look like different people.
Oh,
no successes, Bishop.
Okay. So, all right, Joshua. You wanted to play Batman, right?
You're gonna have to clonk a dude.
And this.
Fortunately, we don't look like our original guys to begin with.
You don't. But
Joshua turns his head to the side. He kind of contemplates for a split second. He turns his head back. Anthony, just to clarify something, we will not be caught on CCTV camera regardless what happens because we have set it up so that we won't be, correct?
But as long as we don't drag security to us, our plan is on the way out, we're going to wipe security anyway.
Okay. Joshua steps incredibly quickly because celerity. I will also spend for my vigor, Bishop, as I cut this gentleman's throat.
What?
I'm going to let Farthingdale drink him. I'm going to kill him very silently.
You don't need to cut his throat. If you want me to feed, the feeding still causes bliss out.
That depends on how you feed. It actually causes freak out if it's violent. It's the same result. Like they're paralyzed, but they gain a scar condition instead of swooning.
What Joshua does is he moves like lightning because once again he does. He claps his hand over the man's mouth, and I'm going to let Farthingdale drink.
Okay.
If necessary, I can then snap his neck.
Yeah, Farthingdale is going to drink this man dry.
Yep. Glug, 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 glug. I'm going to assume this is going to require me to make some sort of integrity or humanity check or something.
Both of you are going to be required to make checks for this.
Is it possible? Yeah, Bishop, do I completely lose control, or is it possible for me to try and regain control after a certain point of feeding?
So, with Frenzy,
yes. Because I will say, Farthingdale would prefer not to kill this man if he can avoid it. I don't think it's avoidable, but he'd prefer not to have to do it in a midst of frenzy, if nothing else.
It is not avoidable, I'm afraid. You're currently in the clutches of your beast, and the frenzy only ceases once it has accomplished its goal, in which case it is to sate itself.
Right. By the way, Joshua does not degenerate. Haha.
You bastard.
Actually, the dice check depends on.
I took it. I cut a lot of. I cut most of my dice off. I cut it down to difficulty 3. I probably denied myself dice. I only rolled 3 dice. I think I denied myself dice.
Yeah, you feel absolutely fucking horrendous.
So what's my penalty, Bishop? And how many dice do I roll?
It is a hue. This is an impassioned killing, so it's 2 dice plus any touchstone bonus you might have, which is if you have 1 touchstone, it's plus 2 dice. And any attached touchstone, I should add.
I don't think I ever actually determined what his touchstones were.
Wow, you probably should have done that.
I didn't. Touchstones is a stupid V5 thing, and I don't like thinking about it.
They existed in Requiem before V5.
Requiem is also a shit system.
How dare you? So you're humanity 7, so you will have an attached touchstone. However, I think I've just seen will determine what it is. So you roll 4 dice.
4 dice. Let's see how badly this goes, boys.
Oh, I completely forgot.
I was going to say, do you want to know what the most fucked up thing is, Farthingdale?
Well,
I'm going to point this out for Bishop. Hey, Bishop, how did this man die from what the police will see?
I got 1 success as well.
Okay, you don't grow more monstrous, but you know you have done something monstrous. To answer your
question,
question,
degenerate, I don't think.
You do not degenerate. Evan, to answer your question, Farthingdale is draining this man. It could possibly be exsanguination.
Yes, but Bishop, they will see holes and puncture marks and bite wounds. How did Mr. Goodman kill the police in question?
That's a good question.
Exactly. My point is that with no security footage, the fact that this is Mr. Goodman's company, and the fact that, well, once again, exsanguination and bite wounds. I'll give you 2 guesses who it is the police will blame, or 3 guesses.
I do also have a slight suggestion to buy us a bit of time.
Mm.
You know how we came here to fix lifts?
We're throwing him down a lift shaft?
Yeah, like because you can set the lifts to stop in between floors. It's a thing that they do for maintenance purposes. So do that, and then like Farthingdale gets in lift, sets it to go in between floors, and then Joshua just shoves him down in between so that he'll crash. It'll also seem like he broke his neck in the fall. And anyone who cares to look, they'll probably see the bite marks and the exsanguination and such, but it will also give the impression that Goodman must have been trying to hide the body.
I mean, to speed this up,
yes, thank you.
You can throw him down a lift shaft. One of you is the vigor to open the door, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to throw him down a lift shaft if you could just leave the door open. So one of you can force open the door without making it appear extremely obvious, like the door just sort of screeches open. Just make a lot of noise, but nobody immediately comes, so you have a bit of time. And they do think you're working on the lift, so it makes sense that there would be that noise.
Yeah.
And you throw them down the lift shaft. Farthingdale, you're now 10 blood points.
Yay!
You, 1 second. You both gain. Joshua gains the competitive condition. Farthingdale gains the bestial condition. That will last until your next scene.
Cool. What do they do? Hold on. Isn't the bestial one the one? Isn't the bestial one the one where I can't bear to like be challenged and shit?
It's no, that's competitive. Bestials, you act on impulse.
Yeah, I think I've had this.
Impulse.
I think I've had this before, and I nearly started a fight last time.
Yes. You make it to the. You can make it to the. You can make it to the laboratory. Something you notice from another security guard that passes you is that they do appear to be reaching this individual over their radio, and they do appear to be responding to it. So it has put something of a timer on your operation.
Yep.
Sigh.
So you may not be able to do everything that you wanted to do here, but you do make it to the private laboratory. There is nobody in there. It is a small but very well equipped setup.
Is the computer in this room linked to the internet, Bishop? I assume no.
No. This one has even less reason to be.
Same bit of fuckery as previously. Like install dongle, link to network, install same like software to try and have the information streaming back to our own little setup.
I'm going to make me the same roll. This time you'll get -4 dice instead to represent the fact that you're now under pressure.
All right, so give me a second. I'll try and figure this shit out. So that would be 9 dice, -4 would be 5. But I am going to spend my last willpower on this. So 8 dice to try and make this shit work.
Wow!
Exceptional success. So,
makes the system his bitch.
Because you've already done this, breaking into this system, it's secure. The cybersecurity is very much the same, despite being in a more private setting. Perhaps they just didn't really expect anybody to come in here, so they didn't feel the need to further secure it. And they thought the cybersecurity was already secure, which, to be fair, it was. But yeah, you break into the system. You get access to some files, much more detailed information, whatever Julian was producing. Some records pertaining to testing of Violet and blood samples. Details on it are very, how to say, not vague, or rather, it is deliberately. It is very masquerade safe. It is just clearly something from what you're looking at has been covered up to be masquerade safe. You'll be able to make you'll perhaps this will give you valuable information to make certain assumptions, but it's not necessarily it's not written on the records as Violet affects kindred in this way and makes them vulnerable to this and gives them this effect. It's
If we provide this information to Izzy, who is also a biologist and can do chemistry, she will be able to fill in the blanks.
She would be able to make certain assumptions. She would probably need a sample of Violet and need to repeat the experiments herself to get some definable conclusion.
You now have record like scientific diary of experiment X was done on this, experiment Y was done on this, in the same vague terms, but there would presumably be a record of what experiments were done.
Yes, pretty much all of it is above board. There is no legal or criminal implication here, although some of it is a bit might be considered a bit suspicious, but otherwise, to anybody not in the know, to a kindred, this might appear a bit suspicious, particularly since the kindred is involved. You would suspect Julian was engaged in some sort of experimentation of the Vitae, and of Violet. He was clearly examining it in some fashion. He appears to have made, again, certain discoveries, but Isabella will need to be involved in order to come to a definable conclusion on what that means. You get pretty very detailed information on whatever product he brought forward to the business, which
now that's something their competitors would probably pay very handsomely for.
Absolutely.
And now we've installed the back door and the Wi-Fi link. So on the way out, Bishop, we'll go back to the security room. I now have full blood, so vumph back to our old security selves. Yep. And once we get to security, turn on the monitor again, make sure the backup's complete, because it shouldn't be that difficult, because modern hard drives can be quite fast recording.
Yeah.
If need be, I would even just have it streaming off to our own system if need be. But once we've got the backup, unplug that, then basically tell the computer to just delete all of the recordings for, say, the last 72 hours, just to be on the safe side. And at the same time, I assume they keep some backups in this room.
Yes. Am I going
to smash them
for more core functions?
Yeah, just make a point of erasing those backups as well. Basically, giving the impression that something happened in the last 72 hours that was hidden. Once that's done, leave the room, leave the dongle in place and such, because obviously gloves, there won't be any fingerprints. Once we leave, find a maintenance power box, the fuse boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Find it, and at this point, Joshua, short the power if you'd be so kind.
All right. So, what Josh do you want him to? I take it this is Joshua punch the thing.
Yes, this is Joshua. Make this look like the damn thing exploded.
All right. So Bishop, because Joshua doesn't want to get hit with an incredible amount of electrical feedback, I have increased my strength. I have blue booked all of that for the next 3 months because I decided, fuck it, YOLO. I'm just going to do a big ritual and leave it in place so I don't have to keep rolling everything. So
we already discussed that you can't do that.
But I can per the rules.
No, we talked about this. Like
rules is
ago.
rules is rules.
Nah, I mean, if you don't,
anyway.
I do. So yeah, he will just he'll wrap his hand in something non-conductive, and he will punch straight through it. Just
okay.
Yeah. Well, once the power,
I am happy to take some lethal damage from electricity.
This is probably going to hurt you a bit, yeah. It's not going to be lethal damage because it is mundane damage. However, you will take... what are you punching into, like a power box?
Yeah, a mains fuse box.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to hurt.
We're basically trying to short power out in the entire building.
Yeah.
Spend blood for he'll spend a vitae for his vigor and punch.
Yeah, with vigor popped, you just smash straight through it. You will take 3 bashing from the electric shock. Which would have been 3 lethal for a human, which would have put their health at serious risk. But for you, it's just it's less a lethal shock and more like being kind of tased. It's not lethal, but it damn hurts.
It stings.
He'll then spend the 3 blood necessary to heal himself.
Bashing damage only takes 1 vitae per 2 bashing, so it only takes 2 vitae.
Okay. So Bishop, given as I said earlier that like typically emergency systems are on the separate circuit, I assume like we're going to go over to the little red boxes that are the fire alarms and just elbow it, set off the fire alarm.
Yep, that's a very simple thing. You don't need vigor for that.
Yep. Once that's done, gather up our shit and basically just start running like jogging down the stairs. So
everybody else in the building,
yeah,
it's a fire alarm.
Oh yeah, that's the idea. Like that way, we'll go out as part of the crowd. So if anyone notices us, it's and then once we get to the van, Are you
using cloak of night to make yourselves invisible?
Not initially. Once we're out of the building, go with the rest of the crowd, and then make a point of like veering off into like a dark street or something, so that they break line of sight with us, and then activate Cloak of Night. So we just appeared to walk off like into the dark and disappear. Okay,
as you're running off, you're already accepted by everybody to be legitimate here, so nobody really questions you running out. It appears you're more or less following the same protocol that everybody else is.
Yep.
As you run out, and around a corner, just out of view, or rather, you change directions because you see police are arriving on the scene very quickly. You manage to get around the corner before the police are out of their vehicle, but a surprisingly large number of police show up to the scene, and they show up before you actually are able to leave the area. That's fair enough. I mean, once we've activated Cloak of Night, we're invisible, and then I can just go, like, if need be, I can go over to our van, and I am willing, if necessary, to Cloak of Night the van. Because you can do that. It would incur a dice penalty to do because it's fairly large.
I mean, we're in no hurry. Like, bear in mind, the police are very unlikely going to shut down an entire area of central London. But we're not in any great hurry.
Is there a McDonald's open nearby?
You've already had a delicious treat. You don't deserve
it. No, my basic plan is we're gonna go to the McDonald's, buy each of us get like a fucking I don't know, a Diet Coke or something, and then act like surly teenagers for a couple of hours, just nursing the Diet Coke.
All right.
And then we can go back when the police have more or less cleared out.
Well, no, they're not going to clear out. They're going to find a body, which will hype them up. But
well,
in theory,
they'll find the body if they think to go into the lift shafts. And as far as everyone in the building is concerned, the lift maintenance guys left, and they didn't report any bodies.
They left, but they never came back to finish their work.
True.
I mean, that's fair. But what was I going to say? So yeah, are we good to leave it there, gents?
That seems like a good place to end the scene. Mission with a few hiccups, but otherwise a success.
All right. So thanks for playing. Thank you for watching this. It's been another scene in a Requiem for London. Have a pleasant evening.